What's good, fam? Welcome back to Something Extra. It is your Wednesday dose, your midweek dose of Something Extra. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about beating your chest. You know that sensation of beating your chest? You know those celebrations which some footballers will have when they score a goal and they'll be like, I did it. They'll be like, I got it. Interesting that it is a team sport and that guy would not have been able to score that goal if it were not for his team members. Because if you take out the goalkeeper, the opponents will just shoot the other side. They won't even run much and just shoot until the balls go in. So in as much as you can score a beautiful couple of hat tricks and so forth, without your, teammates, you will lose. And what I want to talk about specifically has to do with ego. Ego has to do with being self-centered, being the kind of person who thinks it's all about you. It's the kind of person who thinks, I don't need anybody. Why should I worry? It's all about me. Sorry that today we're going to be a little bit confrontational already in the beginning, but it is something that is very, but very important for us to apply, apply the opposite of ego, but apply the understanding that ego can be detrimental and be damaging to the future of any person. No matter how successful a person may be, ego will eventually kill them. Let's go through the dictionary meaning of the word ego. You can see it's there on your screen, and together we're gonna read about it. The dictionary meaning is the self, especially as contrasted with another self or the world. Okay, that's the first one, but I don't want it as a noun. Hold up, let's put the thesaurus here. Here it goes. A reasonable or justifiable sense of one's worth or importance. Number two, an often unjustified feeling of being pleased with oneself or with one's achievement, situation or achievement. I'll give you a couple of synonyms of it. Big head, I like that. Complacency, conceit, conceitedness, egotism, pomposity, pompousness, pride, pridefulness, self-admiration, I like now this list, self-assumption, self-conceit, self-congratulation, self-esteem, self-glory, self-importance, self-love, self-opinion, self-satisfaction, smugness, swelled head, swell-headedness, vaingloriousness, vainglory, vainness, and vanity. Very interesting how nobody wants to look at these synonyms and say, I have it. But ego is the downfall of anybody who's at the top. And ego is what holds back anybody who plans on reaching the top. Like we were talking about in football, it's a team sport. It has to do with many people. As a matter of fact, sports, even single player sports, there are people behind them. There's a trainer, there's a manager, there's a group of people who are there training that person, helping that person, even if you only see the one person. I want you to look at, for example, this video of Formula One. I don't know if you're familiar with Formula One, but you will see that mainly there is the driver. He is the center of what's going on the track when racing. However, in this, what we call a pit stop, where that's when the car is going to change tires or fix something quickly that needs to be fixed, something which perhaps the car crashed during the race. And if it's still repairable, they will repair it quickly. But look at all those guys. The one who's in front, that's with the jack, the one that's with the jack at the back, the other two on the sides that help to balance the car, and 3 guys on each tire. Now imagine if the driver has to do the job of each and every one of those guys. Look how quick this, as they call it, the pit stop is. Look how fast it is. But imagine if he has to do it, the driver has to do all of that on his own. Not to mention that Formula One and most motorsport is composed of many other people. There are engineers, people who will strategize what exactly is going to be happening. Now imagine if the driver, whose duty is obviously to drive, decides, I don't need anybody. I've got this. I'm on my own. I don't need you guys. Why are you moving my tire? I can do it on my own. Imagine if that happens. Do you think he'd be successful in that race? Do you think that he'd be able to finish that race as a winner? Definitely not. Everybody wants to reach the podium. Everybody wants to be at the top, or as they do in Formula One, they want to pop the champagne. Everybody wants to do that, and that's, the sense of victory which every human being wants. Maybe it's not in sports in your life, maybe it's in school, in your studies, for example, you want to, be the one celebrating on the podium. Or maybe it's in your career, maybe it's in your love life, with your family. I don't know what it is, music, business. I really don't know what it is that you want to achieve to get to the podium. But I need you to understand that ego will be the greatest downfall. And unfortunately, ego does develop in some people when they get to the top. And when they get to the top, that's when they mainly get lonely, because they forget that in that journey for them to get to where they are right now, there were people who were there for them. There were people who stood there for them. There were people who believed in them. Even if it was just one person, there will always be at least one person to believe in you. Sometimes we say, nobody believed in me. Really, it's a general sense of it, but most people won't believe in you. But eventually someone will believe in you. And even if it's yourself, that's also necessary, of course. But my point is, to get anywhere in life, ego will impede you to get there. Or ego will be the downfall from anyone who's at the top of the ladder and bring you to the bottom of the ladder. Now I want you to think about it. It's your life here. What is it that you want to achieve? Is this mindset of self this, self that, self-admiration, self-assumption, self-conceit, self-congratulation, as the video we were showing you guys of the footballer beating his chest, self-esteem, self-glory, self-importance. It's all about me, and me. Have you ever stopped to think about it? How many times do you say I in a day? How many times do you talk about yourself? How many times does it matter to you about talking about yourself? Nothing wrong with you talking about yourself or sharing experiences with people. But what about maybe when, somebody's sharing a story and you realize that all the attention's on that person, you realize, now it's my turn. I also want the attention on me. I want the spotlight on me. And you become a bit, jealous because that person's getting the attention which you would like to get. Then you might have an ego problem. When people want to tell you what's true, because sometimes people aren't, trying to be spiteful or throw stones on you and tell you that they don't believe in you, but sometimes it's just people telling you, you might need to correct or twitch or work on this or work on that. And there's nothing wrong. They're not trying to be mean or anything, but you might be the kind of person when they're trying to help you or correct you, you don't notice that it's not about them hating you or being against you. It's just that they're trying to help you better or improve yourself, and that might hurt your ego. So I want you to be careful with that. All of us need to be careful with that. When we win, we should actually become more humble. When we lose, we should fight to become a winner, figure out why we lost, what we did wrong, look at ourselves before we look at others, look into ourselves as what we could have done better. But when we win, don't ever credit that victory to yourself on your own. Yes, you should be proud of your achievements, but don't ever think that you did it on your own, because on your own, you're not going to go far. There's a famous saying that says, alone we can go faster, but together we can go further. In life, do you want to go fast? There are many people who reach the pinnacles very quick, but they don't go far because they want to go alone. They want to ride solo. So think about it. Ego might be the problem that you've been having. Be careful about talking too much about yourself, always referring to yourself, always telling people about your story, always seeking that validation, not liking it when somebody else is getting the spotlight and when you don't get the spotlight. Always criticizing others. Maybe the kind of person who you've always got something negative to say about someone else. You've always got something to say. When somebody achieves something, be like, yeah, he did well, but hey, his parents are rich. He's got a head start. Look at me. I don't have that, and I still. You now moved the scenario from that person to yourself. Ego goes back. Let's go to that list again, please, guys. I'm really. I hadn't even seen this list before. Self-admiration, self-assumption, self-conceit, self-congratulation, self-esteem, self-glory, self-importance, self-love, self-opinion, self-satisfaction. You're always satisfied when it's all about you. Self. In other words, me, or I. But you completely miss the point, forgetting that we all need one another. Interesting lesson. Don't depend on anyone. Really, you shouldn't depend on anyone. The only one you should depend on is God. But you should also understand that in every journey, somewhere you will need someone. Somewhere along the way, you will need the help of someone. Maybe if that person doesn't want to help you, it might just be a signature, but you do need that signature. It might just be a yes, but you do need that yes. It might just be a do it. You do need it. On your own, you will reach nothing. On my own, I will reach nothing. On the 24th of February, 24, as we're calling it, 24 to 24, we're going to be having the Mega Help event. The biggest YPG event so far this year will be this one. Of course, there will be others. But what makes us to be so, looking forward to this event, so anxious for it, is that we know we have an amazing team of people who are going to be helping us. Imagine if I decide on my own, we're going to host this event, I don't need anybody's help. I can tell you this event will be a disaster. It won't be. And that confidence doesn't come because I'm good. The confidence comes firstly from God, and also comes from the amazing team of coordinators, mentors, and YPG fam who form part of this beautiful work of the YPG. So understand the importance of teamwork and of working together with people. As the YPG slogan says, together as one. So think about it. For me to wrap it up, there is an interesting story of how you feel if your mother compliments you. Make believe you want to become a musician and you compose a song. If your mother, she applauds and she loves your song, what has more value, your mother or if a complete stranger applauds you for your music? Your mother will always, even if your music is terrible, she will always support you. Our mothers are our mothers. My mother's a straight talker, but she would naturally believe in me. But now a stranger to love what I do, or what you do, or what we do, that's something else. So it goes to show the importance of others in our lives, and not only ourselves. The compliment of a stranger is more powerful than the compliment of your own mother. And the compliment of your mother is more important than your own compliment about yourself. So I talking about myself has no value. My mother talking about me, well, she's still my mother. But a complete stranger talking about us, that's something special. So stop blowing your own horn and let others blow the trumpet. Now don't do things for people to be talking about you. Oh my goodness, you are simply amazing. Because that also has ego, because your life will revolve around the fact that you really want people to be talking about you. That is also ego. Be careful. Do it because you believe in it, because that is where your shine is, above all for God's glory. And lastly, when you get complimented, credit it to the winner. As this famous footballer used to do when he used to celebrate his goal, he would raise his hands, and that was it. Realize who gave him the skill, the talent, and the opportunity to be where he is. There were others who were apparently more talented than him, but unfortunately they think it's all about themselves, so their downfall is quicker. Others at least realize that it's thanks to their amazing teammates and those around them. Ego, be careful with it. This coming Saturday, 7 p.m., we're going to be back here with Something Extra. Well, we're not going to be here. Not Something Extra, excuse me. 5 o'clock. And in the 5 o'clock, we're going to be talking about social media. This is going to be such an intriguing one. And I'm going to be having with us a social media addict, someone who's an addict for social media. You guys best get ready for it. And as I said, I repeat, 24 to 24, we're going to be at 24456 in Mink Drive, Zone 60, Kloof and Soweto. Make sure that you guys get ready for it. It's going to be the biggest, the banger. It's going to be amazing. Get ready for it. Together as one YPG. And as you know, what time is it? It's time to take off. Take care of yourselves. See you Saturday. See you soon. And see you 24 to 24. We're out of here.